How's everybody doing out there? I know you're having a great day. Your day just got better. Welcome to More Than Lyrics. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Bobby, the man in charge, the man with the dream and the schemes. Here's my man GT here.
Dreams and the schemes.
Yeah.
Like it. The wordplay.
Yeah.
Welcome to More Than Lyrics. We're here finally.
Yes.
It's been a little bit of planning. I think probably done more planning on this project than anything in the past.
It's always worth it. You learn, from all the stuff you've been doing before, and this being the first episode, we had a great lineup.
I can't wait.
Yes, can't wait. Take this journey with you guys. This is awesome.
We've got some great stories, some really cool personalities to share, and I'm just excited to see where things go with this podcast. To make the point, More Than Lyrics is more than a podcast. We do have the podcast, we have the TV show, KPAO, but we also have the open mic that we host at Sosa Coffee House. It is typically the first Friday of the month. July, we're going to skip the first Friday because it is the 4th of July. That'd be July 11th. But then it'll pick up after that, first Friday of the month. I think we're going to skip August or September because of school.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going strong until like October, November, and then we'll have that Christmas party again in December. It's always a good time. So Bobby, I think a fitting question, which it's funny to ask it now because we've already taped the episode. But the question that KJ gave us, what does More Than Lyrics mean to you?
Yeah.
How would you answer that?
I'm going to answer it as short as I can.
Yeah.
But even from the concept of
question.
when we first started speaking on this, it has always meant more than music, more than any poetry, more than a song. Like I see life as the lyrics. Like life writes the lyrics.
Yeah.
And if we were all could believe in ourselves and get to a point in life where you had the opportunity to reflect on everything you did in the journey, that's the story. That's more than lyrics. I mean, if you wrote, what do you get, 3 minutes to 5 minutes or whatever to write a song?
Yeah.
And if you put your whole life in a song, could you
no
really,
way.
You know what I mean?
No way.
You couldn't. More than 3 and 4 albums worth of living that you do. So I love this show. I love this segment. It is more than lyrics. The lives you touch, the people that inspire you to do to move, and no person, at every step in your journey of your life. From the first time that you take your first step, none of us do it by ourselves. None of us, we can't do this by ourselves.
Right.
And, I'm a people watcher. And, we've had talks about, to me, any song or anything worth telling is the lyrics, not the beat, not a lot of the hoopla we do to make sure that somebody knows this song, but the somebody sat down and wrote some lyrics, so that's it. It means a lot to me. I really loved the name More Than Lyrics because we're in a situation where this is open to everyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody's got something to say, and everybody's got lyrics that this is your platform. This is your opportunity to tell us your song. What about you, man?
So when I came up with the name, I was looking for a name for the open mic, and to tell a story, we had, we'll go all the way back. 2017 is when I started hosting open mics. We started as Urban Voice. We were doing the workshops, and we combined the open mic with that, and it started at Sozo.
Mm-hmm.
And the vision for that was 12 open mics in 12 months. And we did that.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough. There were some months it was like, I don't know if this is going to happen. Venues pull out on us. There was that space on 24th and Lake that we were supposed to have it show that. And there was one.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
Rockets.
that.
There was one where we showed up and we're ready to have the show. And like, dude just didn't show up.
I remember that.
So like, we got to pivot quick. But that taught like the perseverance, you know, quick thinking, and it also helped me to realize that things don't have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Show up, and the people that show up, they'll be impacted. And the main thing is that we're here and that we're doing a thing, whatever the thing is that we're trying to do. It also gave me like an inflated ego. I want to say it was around that time I wrote that song Ego.
Mm-hmm.
As trying to remind myself to stay humble, but I was smelling my own poop, to be honest. But so we did the open mics. Well, actually it was the workshops, open mics, and then my heart changed, like planning all this content and stuff and busy life. It was a bit much. So I'm like, I'm just going to do an open mic. And I want to say that's where Good Vibes came from.
Mm-hmm.
We did open mics, and then that expanded to doing other community events, which we were already doing with Urban Voice. We did the thing at the Adams Center.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you were part of that.
I used to DJ.
I remember that.
I was DJing. So I was pretty busy, but the Humble Kings, how does that fit into?
Humble Kings is separate.
That's separate from Good Vibes.
But yeah, it's separate, but it's together.
Okay.
Humble Kings supports Good Vibes.
Okay.
But really, Humble Kings it's a conglomerate of Christian hip hop artists.
Right.
But the thing at the Adams Center, we did I think it was like Summerfest or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some bikes donated to us. We gave bikes
posters
away. Tasha was there, and she made pancakes for people.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a stage there. We did a concert. We did a basketball tournament.
Still have the posters.
Yeah. And then we gave away, I don't know, it's like 25 bikes or something. The cool thing about that is, again, you know, just showing up. At that time, those apartments on Lake Street had closed. Mm-hmm. The ones that got condemned.
Yeah.
And those people, those refugees, were living in the Adams Center. So we put on a show for them.
Yeah.
Like, we had a built-in audience, and those kids got bikes, and you know, we had a great Saturday with them.
Yeah. I remember all of that.
Yeah. We had some great times. I say that to say, you know, we've been doing these events for a while. Through unfortunate circumstances, I stepped away from Good Vibes. We stopped our Humble podcast, and I really didn't have any desire to do open mics for a while. Fast forward to this past New Year's, I had my daughter. I have her Christmas and New Year's. I think I have her Christmas. Maybe it's like Christmas Eve and then into the day. Take her to her mom. Anyway, New Year's, I had her New Year Day, and we're driving around trying to find something to do. And she was like, "Dad, I know what we can do. Let's go to an open mic."
What?
You can't just like up and go to an open mic on a whim like that.
Like, it's open mic. Yeah.
Right. I guess if there's an open mic happening on that day,
right?
Usually not on New Year.
Yeah.
But it just kind of, you know, reignited that drive. And the one thing that I've been really intentional about in the events that I host is making sure that it's something I can take my kids to. Mm-hmm. So the Good Vibes, what we're doing now, it's family friendly, and it's something that I feel like it pours into families, family oriented, and it's something I feel good taking my kids to. So we started open mic, retired Good Vibes, and it's like, well, what are we gonna call this thing? Well, my daughter's name is Lyric. She's the one that inspired it. Yeah. And then the other thing of it is the open mic is, as you said, it's open for more than just music. I do the hip hop. I usually open the show, and if I need to fill space, I will. Something that really bugs me about the open mic is the first like 30 minutes, we're like struggling to get acts for the open mic. And then about an hour afterwards, the lineup is packed, and I have to tell people I can't take any more signups because we're full.
Yeah.
And this last one was funny because it turned into a karaoke show.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people who were just like, can I do a song? So I would pull up a karaoke song on YouTube, and they'll sing. Again, we're showing up and we're having fun with the people who are there. But more than lyrics, it's the music, it's the poetry, it's the stories, the comedy. I feel like even having the word lyrics in the name makes people want to think about music, but really it's the life, the stories outside beyond just music. Like I want to support creativity in all sorts of different fashions.
Yeah. Lyrics are life.
Lyrics are life.
Yeah. There's no lyrics without people living, lyrics are something you're saying. You're talking about something.
Yeah.
And you're saying it because you got something in you want to get out, and you want to get across to other people.
Yeah.
And that's everything you just said. So it's a lot more than lyrics.
I think in this show we're going to talk to musicians. We're going to talk to poets. We're going to talk to business owners. We're going to talk to storytellers. I want to create a platform for people that are doing something positive in life to be able to share what they're doing and to tell people about it. Invite people along the journey, and who knows where this is going to take us. When we met and you were talking about bringing in students, I think that's huge.
Yes.
Giving them a chance to be on TV. I was talking to somebody about this. It's one of the guys. This is one of my favorite people in the open mic. His name's Steven. And it's about 2 years ago. It was the first time he just popped up at the open mic. He likes Sozo, and he found out about the open mic. He's like, I'm just going to come. And it's his first time doing an open mic, but he works at the zoo, and he was telling stories about the animals at the zoo. And I remember him, this is like the first time I ever found out that like octopuses are super smart.
Yeah.
I want to say they have 3
mad
brains.
Intelligent, boy. I watched some of it on YouTube, and it fascinates me.
It's crazy.
To watch the things and to watch like them do puzzles and squeeze through things to get like a piece of food and stuff. I was like, and they're just out there in the water.
Right. It's amazing. So he started coming to the open mic once we started back up, and he's been to everyone. I think he missed the very first one, but he's been to all the other ones. And I want to get him on the show. Yeah. Have him come on the podcast and talk about animals and his passions and what drives him. It's a great dude. Oh, I was talking to him, and I don't even remember why I brought that up. It was something I was talking to him about that connected to something I was saying. I don't remember what it was. I lost it.
Well, I mean, you were just basically going on it. It is more than lyrics. It's more than music.
Yes.
Because, you're just like, we want to do more than just invite, singers and put some students. I mean, kids are going through things, and it'd be nice to have several people that are going through school and to sit here and say, this is what it's like for me to go to school. This is what it's like for me. This is my song right now.
Nice.
Some people's songs is, Lives Are Heavy Metal, and some people, classical music,
Yeah.
But we, this is a platform where people can say, somebody gave me a platform for me to say something, for me to express myself.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that feel like they're nobody. You know what I mean?
That's sad.
That is sad. There's a lot of people that feel like, but this world can be, depending on who you sometimes get beside you and what you hear, you can be considered, it grinds you down,
For sure.
like you've probably seen in the past some of the outfits I've worn, I get a lot of hate, bro.
Yeah.
Just the way, like my dreads and the way the style, different things I would do and the clips I would put, my ear, my gauges and stuff. Like some people are like cool gauges and stuff, and other people are just like,
Why would
you
you do
catch
that
that
to
side
your
eye.
ears?
People even ask, and I mean, we're in Omaha, and just random people would walk up to me and ask me why I dress the way I dress. And I was like, you're not from Omaha, you know.
Yeah.
Really, just total stranger will come up to me and say, "You're not from Omaha. Where are you from?" No, I live in Omaha, and they'd be like, "Well, I've never seen you before.
Okay.
You live in a city."
Right. I remember now, and it goes full circle what you're saying. I was talking to Steve, and I invited him to be a part of the podcast, and he was like, "Oh, I always wanted to be on TV." And that goes exactly into what you're saying. It gives the average person an opportunity to tell their story and to be on TV.
I'm gonna be on TV, and it's as simple as that sometimes.
Yeah.
To be on to go home to be able to say, "Hey, Mima, I'm gonna be on TV."
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing though that I have to remember, we have to be sure when he comes, because he's gonna bring props.
Okay.
When he came to the open mic this last time, he had a shark jaw. It was so funny. He came out and he was like, "I want to see those smiles." But doing it in this form, all right, we got the TV,
Yeah.
but we also have the audio from the podcast. So people who are watching the podcast or listen to the podcast, they won't be able to see that. So we have to describe the things that we're seeing and make sure that they understand the vision.
Right. Yeah. Gotta take that in consideration. Yeah.
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 Have you done a podcast before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was it?
Not just. I've been on.
You never
other
hosted
people's.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's sorry.
I've thought about it a number of occasions, and I don't know when we met if I was still doing my positive energy.
Yeah. Yep.
And I got to a place similar to what you were saying. I felt like I was putting so much work into it and looking for people to come and be on the show,
Yeah.
do your thing. And I'll tell you what really was the part that put me to the point where I was like, I did it for years. What got me to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. When people would come, do their whatever they're going to do and leave.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be first and somebody has to be last.
Yeah.
And by the time the last person gets up, whether it's a comedian or whatever is going to happen, there's three or four people left. Because different groups have different people came to see each, and it all added up to the first show. So
there's a term for that.
I call it disrespectful.
It is disrespectful, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's called being Omaha. So I work I work in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Working down at Slowdown as stagehand, I've talked to some bands that hate touring in Omaha for that reason. The fans will come out to support their artists and then they leave.
Yeah.
Artists even do that.
That's crazy.
It's so
that's the
crazy.
thing that upset me was that the artist that I invited, and I would specifically say, don't come if you can't be there for the whole show.
Yeah.
I would say don't come if you can't be there for the show. But people, while they're there, it's like, hey, something came up and I got to go. You wasn't going to stay.
Right.
It was like, support all the other artists too.
Yeah.
Be there for them. So, yeah.
The only time that I don't stay for a whole show is if I have something else going on, which happens a lot more recently than I'd like to admit.
But you say it well in advance.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah.
Like I got some. I have to leave after.
And then from that point, that's when I can say, I still would like you there.
Right.
And that's an understandable thing when you say in advance. Don't say, oh yeah, I got you. Oh yeah, I ain't gonna do that. And then you do that.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful. I didn't realize that was considered like an Omaha thing.
It is.
But you saying that, I've been to so many venues.
And you see it.
And since I've been in Omaha most of my life, I just see people do it all the time. But I also lived in Virginia, California. I've been overseas. And when events happen, it's a crowd in the beginning and it's the same crowd in the end.
It's awesome. They're there for the show.
They're there for the show, for the
Yeah.
whole thing, start to finish. If it's from 5 to 7, they're there from 5 to 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I was like, I'm done.
We've been able to, there's been a couple times that I've seen like a good reason for people to stick around in shows that we've done. And that's the cypher at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a lot of fun. We did Live Loud in Blair one year,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody did their sets. And then at the end of the show, we did like a superset where everybody played like one verse, one chorus of their track.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a video, you can still find it. We ended on Royalty, me and JC's song. And like the very end of the show, it's the chorus, Royalty, Royalty. I'm a child of the king and I know it. Blah. Everybody said that, and then we just walk off the stage.
Yeah, I like the energy that you guys always bring, especially when there's a lot of you there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I know it's going to be popping. It's going to be a big show, and it's going to be like, I love that vibe, and my whole mentality, whether it's 8 or 80, I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will put on the same show for one person in the audience when I do my thing.
I try to do that. I struggle sometimes. I did a show recently, and I had a lot of shows recently, but there's a different dynamic. You tell me if you see this, because on stage you feed off the energy of the crowd, right? If you have that one person and that person is like engaged or locked in or having a good time with you, like I can see that going over well. But I have that song King, and the way I wrote it, it was written for the audience to participate in at the end of it. And if they're not engaged, like I just kind of breeze over that part.
Yeah.
But if they're locked in, like that's when we have fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun for everybody who's there.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, come to one of my shows and you'll find out.
Well, and I know, but and I know what you're saying. How you have to kind of alter it, like I had a song before where we go into it expecting everybody on the left to do something and everybody on the right to do something.
Yeah, that.
So when I get that one person and I'm like, okay, everybody on the left, and they're just staring, looking at you, and now everybody on the right, but I'll still do that.
Yeah.
To engage them.
Okay.
Because even sometimes those 1 or 2 or 3 people will sit there expressionless.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you start messing with them a little bit and letting them know that you realize that they're just not getting it, then they start smiling, like, yeah, I see you going. Just raise your left hand. Now raise your right,
That's like that's a performer thing. Like the comedians that heckle the people that are sitting there.
Yeah.
The situation that comes to mind was we were at the block party, the Walnut Hill block party that City Light puts on every year, and the show had already ran over, and like everybody started leaving, and I was supposed to do 2 more songs. I already cut one of the other songs, and then I did King as the last song. And there was like nobody around. So I'm like, I'm just not going to do this. The other song was Dreamer, which I feel like is too mellow to end a show on Dreamer.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of end on a high note, but there also was no one to feed that energy back to me. So I hate those type of shows, those situations.
I mean, I had one show where somebody, I mean, we were doing Christian hip hop.
Okay.
And this is one of the reasons to me why it's so important, if you're in the audience, listen to what people say.
Oh, 100%.
You know, you like the beat and you're bouncing and stuff like that. I get that. And as entertainers, we want to but we're also trying to give you a message.
Yeah.
This is not secular music. In secular music, I mean, the end all, who really cares what you're saying if you're entertaining? You like what I'm doing on stage, I'm jumping around, I'm saying something, you don't know what I'm saying. I get, but you feeling the energy, and we're all feeling the energy. Cool. When you are giving a message, which the message is first and foremost above everything, take the time out to understand where you are. And this might be something that changes your life, a positive thing in your life. So listen to the lyrics. When we were performing at an event center, and this woman in the middle of our show gets up and starts talking about how she's getting the demons out of the building. Like, you know, like
The ones that were already there.
Yeah.
Before y'all got there.
and we're performing to a live band,
Yeah.
and the live band is from her church.
That's
And
crazy.
we're performing, so she wasn't listening.
100%. Yeah.
She already had it in her mind because it wasn't her thing, you know, and her ego couldn't stand for other people to do something where they weren't listening to her. Like, you know, she has to be, you know, and people are like, that's how she is at church too. She has to be the center of attention, and if she
course.
doesn't get that attention, she ruined it for everybody else.
Man.
But we're wrapping this up.
Crazy. That 27 minutes goes by fast.
Yeah, it goes by fast, but we love you guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
More Than Lyrics podcast. We will be back, and we hope you are too.